Every generation builds the thing it's most afraid of. Right now, it's a machine that can think. A few centuries ago, it was a bomb that could end a war in a single flash of light. Long before that, it was a creature made of clay, brought to life by a word. You'd think fear would stop us. It never has. But the real answer for why isn't recklessness, and it isn't blind ambition either. Here's what's actually happening underneath. Long before anyone worried about artificial intelligence, people told stories about the Golem, a figure shaped from clay and animated by sacred words, built to protect its creators. In nearly every version of the legend, the Golem eventually...
Centuries later, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, a story explicitly about a creator terrified of what he'd made, unable to stop himself from making it. Shelley wasn't writing fiction. She was writing a mirror. The scientist Victor Frankenstein doesn't build his creature by accident. He builds it while fully aware of the danger, driven forward by something stronger than his fear. This pattern isn't limited to stories. In 1945, physicists working on the first nuclear weapon understood exactly what they were creating. Some of them argued against using it. Some of them, according to historical accounts, quietly hoped the test would fail. And still, the project moved forward, driven by a logic that felt unstoppable once it had started. Robert Oppenheimer, who led the effort, later described watching the first detonation and thinking of a line from ancient scripture: "I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." He knew exactly what he had built. He built it regardless. So what is actually driving this?
Here's the part that reframes everything. The neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp spent decades mapping the emotional systems shared across mammals, and he identified one he called the seeking system, a deep neurological drive toward exploration, novelty, and understanding. This isn't a system that asks whether something is safe before activating. It activates in response to the unknown itself. The pull toward figuring out what's possible operates almost independently from the part of your brain calculating risk. This means humans aren't built to avoid frightening unknowns. We're built to be drawn toward them. The same circuitry that once sent your ancestors toward an unexplored valley or an unfamiliar coastline, regardless of what might be waiting there. But curiosity alone doesn't explain why we build the things that frighten us most. There's a second force running underneath it. The psychologists Sheldon Solomon, Jeff Greenberg, and Tom Pyshinsky developed a body of research called terror management theory, built on a simple but unsettling observation. Human beings are the only species aware that we will die, and that awareness creates a low hum of existential anxiety running beneath almost everything we do.
Their research found that people respond to this anxiety by investing in things that feel larger and more permanent than themselves. Legacies, institutions, grand achievements that might outlast an individual lifetime. Building something powerful, something that reshapes the world, becomes a way of pushing back against the fact that any one person's time is limited. A weapon that ends wars, a machine that thinks, a creature that outlives its creator. Each one offers the same unspoken promise, a way of becoming bigger than mortality itself, even while quietly terrifying the very people building it. This is why warning stories never actually stop the building. The fear and the drive aren't in conflict. They're often the same impulse, wearing two different faces. Consider what this means for the machine being built right now. Artificial intelligence isn't the first creation humans have feared while racing to build it faster than anyone else. It's simply the newest chapter in a much older pattern, one where curiosity, ambition, and the search for something that outlasts us collide with a fear that never quite catches up in time to stop anything.
The Golem builders knew the risk. The physicists in 1945 knew the risk. And still, the drive that Panksepp mapped in the brain, paired with the search for permanence that Solomon's research uncovered in the mind, pushed pushed forward anyway. This isn't a flaw unique to any single era or any single technology. It's a pattern old enough to predate written history, one that shows up in clay figures and nuclear tests and lines of code with equal consistency. So the next time you hear someone warn about the next dangerous invention, notice something. The warning has never been the part missing from the story. We've always known exactly what we were building. Every generation builds the thing it's most afraid of, and every generation, quietly certain it will be the exception, builds it anyway.
For more interesting content like this, subscribe and hit the bell icon.